And we're live. Hello, everybody. This is Dr. Willie Jolley,
This is D. Taylor Jolley.
and we want to welcome you to Happily Married Monday with the Jolleys here on Monday, May 18th, 2019, for a special segment. As every week, we have a special segment.
It's not May.
It's a special segment because we talking about.
It's not May 18th, sweetheart.
I'm sorry, March, May 13th.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
May I was thinking two things. May 13th, 2019. So, we thought talking about sex, I get all discombobulated. And that's what my wife said. We're going to talk about sex because people have been asking. So, we're going to talk about sex, S-E-X. And
The topic is pillow talk, sweetheart.
oh, I'm sorry. The topic is pillow talk. And we're going to talk about
What goes on when the lights go off?
ooh,
Or what should go on when the lights go off?
what goes on or what should go on when the lights go off. For those who don't know, we at the Jolley, we've been married for 34 years.
On June 28th.
On June 28th. And I still got the hots for her. And we have not had an argument in over 31 years. Those first few years were like World War III, but we learned some principles that impacted our marriage, that taught us how to get along, how to even disagree without being disagreeable, how to argue. Now, talking to a gentleman today who asked me to be on his radio show, and I thought it was intriguing, but he said what captured him to get the book was, he said, I heard about this couple who has been married for over 30 some years, haven't had an argument in 30 years.
So he had never met us?
He had never met us. He had never,
Oh.
he said someone gave him the book. He wasn't sure how he got the book. He said that book was just, he got the book and he said it was just so intriguing and the principles were so powerful that he said it just had an impact. And here's the interesting thing about his conversation. I said, tell me more. He said, my wife and I were divorced. Hey, Del, how you doing? Della Toro, who, we got to give Della Toro a little shout out. For those who don't know, the name of the book is Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last.
Came from Dell.
10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. That title came from Della Toro McNeil, the great speaker and author. We were going to call it Jolly Tips for Marriage.
Yes.
And he said, I got a better title. Y'all are role models of so many of us who want to know how to have a successful marriage where you're always in love, you're never arguing. He said, y'all should call it Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last.
So there you go.
I dropped the mic. I said, that's it. So shout out to Della Toro McNeil. Love you too, man. So anyway, we actually, this is good because we're actually seeing,
Oh, I
this is
can
the
see
first time we
that.
can actually
Where
see.
in the world did that come from? Where was it before? How come we couldn't see the comments before?
I don't know what happened. Hey,
Hi,
Karen Chambers.
Karen.
Thank you for being a part of our life. Brown
Charlie?
Charit. I think it's Charit
Charit.
Brown or Brown Charit. Anyway,
Hi.
hey, okay, let me get on with it. Hey, Teresita Glasgow
Oh,
out of
hello.
Atlanta. Thank you. I'd ask everybody, do me a favor, share. Push it out. Push out all the little things that make people want to come on because we're going to talk about sex tonight. And it's a pretty...
It's pillow talk, sweetheart.
You call it what you want. It's about sex. Okay, let's talk about pillow talk.
Yes.
Pillow talk. Oh, let me finish telling you the story about the man, though. Man
Today,
calls
today.
today. He calls today.
He
And
emailed.
he
He did
e-
not call.
he emailed
and
first.
I followed up with a call to him because I'm trying to become much more efficient. With
And then she
people.
told me
Yes, I did.
about the conversation she had with him. And I said, what? So he and his wife are divorced. And they had a really, not pleasant divorce. And he said somehow he got this book and started perusing it. And one day he just, the spirit hit him and he called his wife, his ex-wife. And she said, I was hoping I would hear from you. They moved in different cities. She said,
Wow.
and they started having a conversation and found out they still loved each other. They just had some issues that had not been
So
resolved.
conversations maybe?
And here's what
Communication?
communication. And what I shared with them was, and now they're going through the book every night. They go through the book. They talk about the principles. He said this is the most profound.
And they work through the exercises at the end of the chapters.
And he said this is the most profound, principle-filled book I've read in marriage. So they're now getting back together.
And they're in counseling too.
And they're in counseling.
So not one thing to the exclusion of the other.
Right.
So they're working through the book, and then plus they're going to.
And I told them about systems. And I said, here's what I've learned from talking to people about marriage. That many marriages divorce, break up over little things that became big things. They became big gullies that were not able to be bridged or brought back together because they were so wide. Well, they started just a little thing, but they didn't have systems.
Systems to communicate.
Systems to deal with issues. We don't argue.
Systems to communicate
But
effectively.
That's one of the systems. How you deal with money is a system. We got systems that allow us to supersede the problems.
But it's all verbal.
No, it's not all verbal. It's not all verbal.
The majority of it.
Okay, majority. But I don't want to say it's all verbal because some of it's not verbal. It's non-verbal. But we have systems. Once we develop the systems, then we have a way that we can handle the problems, the issues.
If you follow the system.
If you stay with the system. So, hey Barbara, we got so many people joining us.
Nice.
Tell Lottie Dottie and everybody, hit share.
Howdy, y'all.
Howdy, y'all. We want millions and millions of people. So, anyway, I told this gentleman I was so inspired by his call. And he got his wife on the phone. Did you talk to her too?
No, I did not.
I talked to her,
No.
and they said, we are so thankful for this book.
So you know what? I sent them a copy of the workbook. That's almost done, the draft of the workbook. Because I was so inspired by his interest and his excitement about the book. I said, would you look at the workbook right now and give me your feedback? Because we're getting ready to go to print, the final draft of it. And the first thing that he said he liked the diagrams. We have some little hearts, the little heart people, mustache and lipstick. Oh, it's so cute.
So anyway, we are so excited about the new workbook. We're excited about the audio book, which is big at the editor right now. We're excited about the book. We're excited about the live series that we did at Grace Church, and we were at, where were we when the man said that audio had changed their lives? We were at Grace. We were at Grace for the leadership conference. I spoke at. So we've had such a tremendous impact and response. And last week we had a special show with the couple who have been married 64 years, and one of them passed last week. We were at his funeral on Friday. Okay, let's get into this because time will go quick.
The topic is pillow talk.
Pillow talk. We have a friend, Angela Stribling. We should have got her on to just blow it up. But she's on WHUR. She has a show at midnight to 6 a.m. every morning.
No. Midnight to 2 a.m. Monday through Friday.
Oh, it's 2, okay.
Monday through
and she
Friday,
talks about mental health.
midnight to 2 a.m.
WHUR.com.
And the title of her show is Pillow Talk, which is intimate conversations in a variety, but all centered around the communication and intimacy and communication.
Makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's talk about it. Go ahead.
Okay.
And I got some stuff to talk about too.
So, okay.
Woo-hoo.
All right, so the topic is pillow talk, because you have to have a salacious topic, I would say, and what goes on when the lights go out. And
I like that. That was good. What goes on when the lights go out? Hey, there's Lavonda Yankee. Bless the evening family. It was so good to see you guys on Friday. She says she watches on Monday night. Thank you, and thank you for...
give us your feedback with this conversation we're having right now.
On marriage and sex and pillow talk.
Yes.
Okay.
So, Doris Day and Rock Hudson, before most of you were born, was in a movie in 1959. I think you were probably like 3 years old. 1959. That was called Pillow Talk. I actually looked it up on the internet. And so it was in 1959. It was a humorous kind of conversation between the sexes where they were focused on courtship and marriage. And then you didn't have as much exposure as people have now, but it was more of a romantic kind of interchange.
You turn me on.
Thank you, sweetheart.
You're cute.
So this is, thank you. So this is called Pillow Talk and what goes on when the lights go out.
Okay.
And Doris Day, in honor of Doris Day, because she passed away last night or today.
Uh-huh.
She was 97 years old.
Wow.
But she and Rock Hudson popularized the concept of Pillow Talk. So I thought, as we're moving into June, and we got married June 28th.
Yep. June 28th is our anniversary. Send money. Okay. Anyway.
June 28th is our anniversary.
Yes.
And this is the wedding month.
It is the wedding
So
month.
as people spend a lot of money on the wedding, the conversations in the relationship between the two, when the wedding is all over and the excitement is done, here you are, the two of you. What are you going to talk about?
What are you going to talk about?
How are you going to be close and how are you going to get closer and build a life together?
Right.
And that comes down to your conversations, your intimacy. So pillow talk then becomes how we communicate, an intimate way of communicating. So what does pillow talk actually look like? So when you think of pillow, you think about bed, right?
Right.
So you're not always talking about, it's not necessarily sex, but being close, being together.
Well, you talk about intimacy. So for those who don't know, the book, or chapter 8, is a whole chapter on sex. And we talk about in chapter 8.
And relationships. Yes, it is.
It's about sex. It ain't about relationship. The whole book is about relationships.
It's about sex and intimacy. Let me say
Okay, that's true.
Okay.
All right, so it's about intimacy.
Because you got to get to intimacy before you can get to the physical sex.
But they're about relationships. It's about sex
All right,
and
sweetheart,
intimacy.
let's go.
Anyway, chapter 8 talks about intimacy, and that is not always, all intimacy is not sex. And sex, though, is typically intimacy. But women need intimacy. That's what we've discovered in the book. We talk about men need two things, sex and respect. Women need two things, intimacy and security. And the lesson for men is always focus on security, making sure your mate, your wife, is secure, and intimacy. And then women is important for you to realize men have sex on the brain. It's just part of their makeup. So they think about sex, and it's part of their makeup. And sex.
So when
and
you
respect.
make me feel secure
Sex comes along.
and get close to me,
Come on, somebody.
then sex becomes much easier to get,
Ooh.
or it's given up.
You are so awesome. You are so awesome.
So what does pillow talk actually look like?
All right.
Let's go back to
All
that.
right.
So it involves touching. So
Yes.
we touch each other all the time. So
Well,
so
yeah.
it involves tender touching.
Mm-hmm.
It involves cuddling. What is cuddling? Okay, it involves cuddling. It involves kissing. Got the lipstick. Holding hands.
We
which
do that
do
all the
time. Whether we're going to church, whether we're walking down the sidewalk, whether we're in the grocery store.
We hold
it's
hands
called
all the
holding
time.
hands.
All the time.
And
We encourage people who are hanging out with us, couples, hold hands. But we hold hands. Don't make us look like we're out here by ourselves. Hold
we
hands.
don't really pay attention because we hold hands.
We're
all
holding
the time.
hands all the time.
And playful humor.
Which we
so
do.
we have like our own jokes and like inside stories and the like. So
Sometimes my son will come in the room and say, "Man, y'all are just in here giggling and we just giggling, having fun."
just being together. And I think lastly, being able to invade the other person's space because you want to be close to them.
So I
So all
crawl
of
up
that,
next to her at night, or
that's
sometimes she crawls up next to me at night, and we get really close to each other. And or sometimes
So
it's just
that's
our
what it
feet
kinda looks
come
like.
touching.
I'm trying to warm myself up with your hot body.
So I was very intrigued by this scientific thing, and a physiological called the love hormone, the love bug. It's called oxytocin.
Okay, you want to spell it?
OXYTOCIN. OXYTOCIN. I thought it was like OxyContin, but it's not. It's
Oxycontin is
is a drug. This is oxytocin. Tocin. And it's OXYTOCIN. And it is a hormone. It's called the social bonding hormone. It's released by your pituitary gland, and it which is about the size of a seed in the base of your brain, into the bloodstream, doing social bonding,
So when you're close and everything,
it bonds and prepares for sex. It gets your
Wow.
mind in the sex.
so that's when you're
mindset.
cuddling and you're holding hands and you're talking sweet to each other and all that. Then the body naturally responds by producing these hormones to prepare you to have sex.
Ooh la la la! Ooh la la! I love it, love it, love it.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Okay.
All right.
So how does pillow talk help couples?
Well, one, you get to know more about one another by having conversations. And we talk in the bed. We talk at night. We talk, except when she want to talk like 5 a.m. in the morning. And
He pretends he's asleep, but he's really not asleep. Because I move out of the bed to get ready to go to the gym, to go to yoga, and I'm up at 4:35 o'clock in the morning. So he'll roll over,
and she'll say,
and if he says something to
I'll
me,
say good
that's
morning,
an
or I love
opportunity to have a
you, or you're
conversation
so
with him.
cute, or what. And then she said, can we talk now? Oh, no. And I go,
He pretends to be snoring.
I don't want let me tell you what I learned over the years with my wife. If I give her an inch, she'd take a mile. If I give a little bit, then she start talking to me. She start talking to me about I don't want to talk at 5 a.m. I'm sleeping.
I'm wide awake. I'm so excited.
She's wide awake. So anyway, you get to know one another. And you allow your partner to hear your inner thoughts, see your personal side, may help reinforce your collective hopes and dreams. We talk about our hopes and dreams. She knows my goals and my dreams. And she has been there from every step of the way, from the time when I was a nightclub singer and I started talking about this has got to end and I've got to go somewhere else. I'm going to become a speaker and I'm going to do some big things. And
I didn't know what that meant.
Neither one of us. Hey, Hugo,
okay,
thank you
dear.
for coming by.
Aw.
Henry, thank y'all.
Hi.
We are, first of all, this is the first time we've ever seen your comments on screen.
So what were we doing wrong before?
We unloaded. We took our old Facebook application down today and reloaded a new one.
Oh.
That's what happened because the old one was not working correctly. So thank y'all. Please share this with Lottie Dottie and everybody. Hit share.
So we will be more
love,
involved.
love. Little hearts.
That goes
hearts,
to
hearts,
show
hearts.
you
All
you
the
can
above.
start with Facebook and have no clue as to what
We
you're
didn't know
doing.
what we were doing.
We have no place to go but up.
We don't have anywhere to go but up. Okay. The book is available at jollymarriage.com. Amazon, we started getting Amazon orders. We put it on Amazon. We're getting orders from Amazon. That's exciting because more people are excited about it. Oh, by the way, this weekend we got to just share. We're going to be in California on Friday and Saturday evening with our friend Gladys Knight, celebrating her birthday, a special birthday, and she invited us to come and be with that. Once I was there, the word got out, and I'm speaking on Saturday afternoon between the morning activities for Gladys and the evening dinner. I'm speaking for the California Graduate School of Theology, where I got my doctorate, for their graduation, the annual graduation, and then Sunday morning, once the word got out, I got a call from the Hour of Power. Now, it won't air this Sunday morning. We will record it this Sunday morning. But
It'll air in 3 weeks.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
We'll keep you posted.
We'll keep you posted. But I'm going to be on the Global Hour of Power talking, and of course, I'll mention make love, make money, make it last. So, next thing about sex. Let me take a minute here to jump over.
Well, can we go to...
I got to jump on this thing. Okay, you go ahead.
Okay. It helps to create more intimacy. Did we say that?
Yes.
Did we say that that's what it does?
Yes. They have a deeper bond.
A deeper
Pillow
bonding.
talk can have a similar effect.
And you can also hear each other because it's quiet. During the day, we work together, so we don't really get to talk about our private issues because it's like, did you do this? We need to do this.
And we got staff around. Now, I come over
so,
and snuggle with her.
No,
I come over.
you kiss me. And then give me 10 other things to do.
Well, and then I give her a little.
And then ask me questions. Did you get the money?
Yeah,
did
you get the money? Did you call them people about the money? And then I bring her a cup of coffee or a smoothie. And then I say, did you get the money? Mm-hmm. We need that money. Mm-hmm. Anyway, you can hear each other. You can talk to each other. You can hear each other.
Without interruptions.
Now, before we get to the questions for Pillow Talk, let me go over the stuff I wanted to share with them.
Okay.
I think this is pretty profound and dynamic. Some questions that came out about where you know that things that can help kill a marriage. These are a few points. And this is from a therapist who says marital sex problems is like a canary in the coal mine. Woo! A warning
visual.
alarm that danger lies ahead. So here are a couple of them. I'm not going to go through
So
them.
where did that come from? Where did that
Came
article-
from the Huffington Post.
Oh, okay.
And so she's a sex therapist. She says she sees this in her sex practice often,
Wow.
her therapy practice. Can sex kill a marriage? Absolutely. Problems in the bedroom can lead to deep dissatisfaction. A marital sex problem is like a canary in the coal mine, a warning alarm that danger lies ahead. Here are a few of them. One is one spouse controls the frequency of sex. Now that's a problem where married couples vary considerably in terms of how much sex they want or don't want, have or don't have, while studies report that married people on average have sex 7 to 10 times a month. We blew that away. Anyway,
Stay
then,
focused.
focus, Willie. There is no magic formula couples can follow to ensure a happy sex life. The crucial point is that both partners have to feel good about how much sex they are having and how much
So each
control
should be
they
able
have.
to initiate.
Each one should be able to control to initiate. If one person takes charge of when and how sex happens, that's not good.
Is that a sex slave?
No, it's one person dominating the frequency.
That's not an equal.
No, it could be the
partnership.
woman, it could be the man, but it should be ongoing. Okay, here's another one, a big one we talk about in the book.
To not do.
Do not withhold sex. Don't make it a weapon. All right, spouses withhold sex, weaponize it. This is an insidious problem, particularly if sex is used as a weapon to punish one another. It's particularly toxic if an unresolved grievance from the past is offered up, which we talk about as muckraking or stamp collecting. We talk about that in the book. What happens if his past is offered up as a reason for withholding of sex? Once one partner ends up sleeping on the couch instead of the marital bed, the end is probably near.
Wow, I didn't think that is so terrible.
Another insidious problem is using sex as a treat. Now, I don't reward that one. A treat to reward behavior. No, we don't call it a treat. We call it conditioning. When D, we talk about in the book, it's not a treat, it's conditioning. When D is a neat freak. Neat freak. This house is neat because of D. All right? She's a neat lady. Everything has to be just in a certain place. Everything.
Because he's a hot mess.
I wasn't raised in a house like
mess.
that. It wasn't what we did. Anyway, the bedroom used to be, when we got married, I leave the bed unmade because I said I'm getting back in it tonight. That wasn't working for her. So
I was traumatized by that comment.
so
I had to figure out a way to work around it.
She worked around it and she came up with a system that I could do, and then she rewarded me when I did
with
it.
something that he really enjoys.
And I learned how to make up a bed.
He did.
I learned how to clean up after myself because
I'm gone.
I'm
When he
rewarded.
makes up the bed in the morning,
Yep.
I'm already
She
at
gone.
the gym.
She way
I come
gone.
back and the room is I get so excited.
And I get hooked up.
Yes. Stay on focus.
Okay, focus. All right. Now, so that one, spouses are too busy or too tired for sex. Now, we hear that a lot.
So my answer to that, when I got asked that question, I said, you have to plan it.
You have to plan, have a date night.
He said, you have to plan. Yes. You plan everything that's important to you.
Yep.
Plan for that date night. Someone asked me the question of, well, they're kids. Okay, so if you can't have spontaneous sex because the kids are right there and you're doing homework, put those kids to bed and then have sex.
Right on.
Have intimate time.
All
Or
right.
maybe it has to be on the weekend. You have to plan it. And then it becomes like a rendezvous.
Yeah.
You look forward to, I cannot wait. You look forward to it.
We are encouraging you. Look, if you do not have this book, get it. And here's what I want you to get. 2 copies. One for you and one for your significant other. Read it like this couple is doing. Every night, read a chapter. Read information.
Or a portion of it.
Or a portion of it. And talk about it.
Because we each have our version of the principle and how we work through it.
Right.
And you'll see yourself.
You'll see yourself in it, yeah.
Yes.
And so get the 2 copies of the book and get the audio live. Go to jollymarriage.com/live. jollymarriage.com/live. Now, we only got a few more minutes. Before we go, I want to make sure we share. We are working with our dear friend Lynn Bordley, a great meeting planner, and we're giving you a shout out, Olympia Bordley.
Olympia.
She's helping us put
Bordley.
together our marriage seminar in the month of June. If you're interested,
Is that what we're doing
in the month of June, we're going to do the first one in the month of June. If you're interested in coming, the price is going to be, we're not sure. I don't want to say it yet, but we are working on it.
Is it a day activity?
It's a day activity. It's a day activity, and it'll be maybe a brunch or lunch or something like that. It'll be a day so you can do it, take the kids.
Have some fun?
Yeah, so maybe from 10. In fact, why don't y'all send us an email? Tell us what time would work best for you.
On a Saturday?
On a Saturday. 9 to 1, 10 to 2, 11 to 3.
What would you like?
Because we don't have little children.
Yes.
All right, and we don't know what works for people. So we're going to ask you, send us your thoughts. Well, this would work best for somebody with children, or well, we're going to try and find what works. The majority of the people who send in the time, then that's the time we're
And
going
it's
to
a
set.
limited number of couples because this is our first experiment into.
It might be 12 to 5. Who knows? 12 to 4.
Okay.
Whatever works
Let
for
us
y'all.
know what you think.
Let us know.
Okay,
We're
cool,
doing
cool.
it. We're going to do it here in Washington at a restaurant or some sort of facility where everybody can have some food. And then we're going to talk about real deep dive into the principles, as well as talk about some of the issues that might be on your heart that you want to have us address. Okay? Let's see what else. I'm going to let you go back because the rest of them.
Because when we talk about pillow talk and being intimate, you find that there are people who, I don't know how to start a conversation. I really don't know how to start being intimate.
Yeah.
Okay, so from some females I get, my husband is not sweet. He'll tap me on my shoulder and say, okay, let's have sex now. That's not a good way to do it. But I have to say they're doing that because they don't know how
Gentlemen.
to start the conversation,
Yes.
or how to be intimate. So it's kind of like you have to go back to some of the things that you did when you were getting each other interested.
Right. What was
in each
happening
other.
then?
So here's some of the questions.
All right.
Some conversation starters that you could use for the pillow talk when you guys are alone and just being close. So what does an ideal getaway look like to you? If you were to ask them.
What does an ideal getaway look like to you, sweetie pie?
A yoga retreat with lots of juice and stuff, and you walking around naked. How about that?
That was good.
You weren't prepared for
I
that,
went
were
with that, but I'm with that. Okay.
you? What do you remember about the first kiss we shared? Do you remember when that was?
It was at your apartment, wasn't it?
It was when we had the dance, and we were at the hotel that's no longer there
Holgate's.
at Holgate's, and we were dancing, and you were fresh.
All right.
Okay. How would you describe me to someone who's never met me? That's an intimate kind. You don't have to.
I tell people all the time, people who haven't met my wife, I say she's gorgeous, she's brilliant, she's tough as nails, and she's just a wonderful person.
So these are the kinds of questions that you would ask each other. Do you remember the moment you knew you were in love with me? I have to think about that.
I have to think about that one too.
I had to think about that.
I had to work on her. Y'all know the story. I don't have time to tell you. If you haven't heard the story, how I got her to say yes, it was work. So.
But I remember when I knew you were my best friend.
Okay.
That's the first thing.
Yes.
When I lost my job, and it was the snowing, and the plane went down over the Potomac, and I was depressed. And I didn't want to call my parents and let them know that I was now unemployed. It was like horrible. And I said, I'm going to call Willie. He would understand.
Yes.
That's when I knew you were my best friend.
Hey, I like this thing, Veronica Chase. Thank you. Sex should not be initiated in the bedroom, but earlier during the day.
All day long.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. Get it started. Look, gentlemen, if you want some action at night, you better begin in the morning. You better be sweet and kind and send a text. I love you. Would you like a cup of coffee? I mean, I'm working all day long to make sure that this is not just coming over here tapping. That doesn't work.
I could not believe that somebody actually
They
said
said
that their
but they
husband
don't.
did
Some
that.
men don't understand this
No.
process. It's
And
a
then
process.
and then they might also think they know it all, and then the egos get in the way.
Like the
so
lady,
they
like
don't
the lady,
want to listen.
like the lady who married the older gentleman, and
His wife had died.
right,
She was the virgin.
and she had not had any children, and he said she told him something she wanted. He said you
that
don't.
hurt, and he said she didn't.
She didn't know what she was talking about. He was the expert, and you know
That's horrible.
That's going down. You know that's going down the toes. That's not going to work well.
Yes.
So anyway.
Oh, some
Look,
other kind of
our time
questions.
is up,
Wait a minute,
baby.
no, wait. Some other
Well, we
kind
have
of
to
questions. you have.
stop. We're gonna have to we're gonna have to give a part 2 because we got a lot more.
Okay, and then the references because
we
you're
got
like,
a lot
I need
more.
to
We got a lot more. So y'all,
resources. Wait a minute. I do want to say that. So you can go, like we said, there is Angela Stribling.
Pillow Talk on
Pillow
WHUR.
Talk on WHUR from midnight to 2 a.m. Monday through Friday.
WHUR.com.
There is a website called theschooloflife.com, which talks about pillow talk, and they even sell cards on how to have intimate conversations because some people don't know where to start. So you can buy cards that ask you, that will give you questions that you can ask so you can start to develop an intimate conversation.
We have got to go. Our time is
Okay.
up. Our time is up. So, Pillow Talk is for sweet times together. We're going to do a part 2 of this. Send us
Is that
your
next
questions. Yeah, for next week. Send us your questions. What
About Pillow Talk,
do it
the
today,
intimacy.
tomorrow. Do it quick. What you want us to answer about Pillow Talk, about intimacy, about issues that you might struggle with, or things you need to have somebody
And
discuss.
June's for a time to get together and have some fun. June, the love month,
Yeah, and then
the wedding month.
Yeah, and then Laverne Manning Nelson. Thank you. The School of Life. That's right. That's right.
Yes.
There you go. And so Henry Darden, 10 affirmations, no complaints, and completing tasks puts you in the happy time.
That's great.
Happy when she's happy.
Thank you.
I'm happy. And when she's happy, good stuff happens. Look, we got to go. We're going to do a part 2 because we got much more.
I so love this.
Thank you. We can see that. We can actually see the
comments.
comments. The first time ever we could see the comments. So
We have
thank
no
you.
place to go but up. I so appreciate
Thank y'all.
y'all
Tweet it.
participating, hanging out with us on a Monday night
Yeah.
for 30 minutes.
Yeah, send this to Lottie Dottie and everybody. Send it off to your friends, family who's struggling in their marriage. Tell them to get the book. Tell them to get the live audio. And tell them to join us here Monday nights, 9 o'clock. Happily Married
Love you
Monday
guys.
with the Jolly. Love y'all. God
Jolly
bless
out.
y'all. Jolly out. See y'all later.